Well, hey, Gundam Maniacs, welcome to another episode of Gundam Explained. So, I guess you're at the sortie counter, you're about to play and trying to figure out what mobile suit should I use. Once again, it's a matter of choosing ranked or quick match. With custom or free practice, you can really choose whatever you want. But let's say you wanted to do a quick match. Here we're seeing that there's 500 cost, 600 cost, 700 cost. Now, the cost changes. You could even see down at the bottom what is going to come up next. We're going to have some 550, 650, and 400. So let's say you wanted to do that 500 cost room and you wanted to figure out, well, what should I use? First of all, head over to your MSs to kind of figure out what you have at the 500 cost. You can even use 450 cost suits. So let's say you do have some 450s with some awesome weapons and skills. Yeah, feel free to bring that into battle. But looking at the 500 cost, there's a couple things to consider because this is sort of a paper, rock, scissors game. There's the three classes you can choose from: support, raid, and even general. So general is more of just the general suit. You could do close range combat. You could do ranged combat. With support, you kind of want to be a bit ranged. It has a lot of high power to it. And then when you're raid, you want to kind of be up close and personal. You're a little bit faster. You can do a lot of hit and run attacks. So that's one way to decide how you want to play, especially if you're new. You might want to just stick with general. And then from that, something I kind of do when I'm picking a suit is, okay, I want to do general, but you know what? I want to pick something I like. And, I'm a fan of the Ireland, so seeing it here as a general at 500, I may want to pick it, but maybe I want to look at the weapons, and I see that it's got a mega particle cannon, beam saber, and as a sub weapon, mega particle cannon times 2, and then 2 beam sabers. So the variety for the Ireland is not that much. And so I might want to look at the skill and see, wow, this does have a lot of different skills. So it's more about how I use the weapons, less than the weapons that are being used. In that case, you might want to look at something like the Alex here. Looking at its weapons, it's got the beam rifle. And obviously, you can change weapons depending on what you have unlocked. But it's also got the beam saber. And then when it comes to the sub weapon, this has the Gatling gun on the wrist. So it's a little different than the other weapons. It adds some good support fire. And then you have the head-mounted Vulcans. This is also good. This helps with suppression. But it's also got the shield. That's something else to consider when wanting to pick a mobile suit. The shield does help with that extra armor. The shield can then be destroyed. In some cases, that might even add a speed bonus to your mobile suit if the shield is destroyed. So it's something else to think about, especially if you have like a maneuverability skill that allows you to then boost around and be able to be shielded from being staggered based on attacks. And looking at the skills with the Alex, I see that it has the melee combo controller, allows for a 2-attack melee combo, mitigates combo damage reduction. So that might be more for you if you want to be able to have kind of that general play style while you're playing, but still be able to do some cool close range melee style combos. Now we see this Shizurum Gallus. It's a raid. Now this is one that, like, if you really, really, really want to go all melee, raid is also good, and kind of getting an idea of the weapons here. It's got a shield also, and it's got a shotgun, which is actually good at staggering the enemy and then closing in with the ×2 spiked shield attack that it has. And then looking at the skills here, melee combo controller. So allows for a 4-attack melee combo, increases damage during combos. So this is a good suit to use if you really want to start doing a lot of melee combos. You like to be up close and personal a whole lot. And then look at this. Pursuit Melee Auxiliary Program increases melee weapon damage against toppled enemies by 15%. So yeah, toppled enemies, if you, maybe even with a shotgun, depending on how much damage you do, it may cause the enemy to fall over, especially maybe how you attack them, and doing any follow-up attacks to them. With this unit, we'll get 15% more. Something else to consider if you want to go raid, if you want to do a lot of melee damage. So, supports are pretty cool too because they pack a lot of firepower. Though, they're sort of weak in the armor department, so you kind of want to take a step back, maybe be around your teammates so they can kind of help guard you. But really, if you want to lay down the fire on the enemy team, there's nothing wrong with these here. You got 4-barrel rapid fire cannon, 220 millimeter smooth bore cannon. That sounds scary. 2-barrel modified rapid fire cannon, multi-tube rocket launcher, mounted flamethrower, fuel depth charge, and smoke discharger ×2. So you can see where the support comes in here. Tons of weaponry, all different types of firepower, even some defense support like the smoke discharger. And then look at the Dom. This is gigantic. And wow, it has the heat halberd, so even for some gigantic support mobile suit, you can still get up close and personal if you need to. But then look at the 30 cm cannon type, or HE type 3 and APF SDS. Okay, that's going above my head, but that's just a lot of firepower. And then even as you're playing, you may be interested in a few more gimmicks that a mobile suit will have. And actually, that's something here, like with the Rigazzi Custom. It has the flight mode, so this is where it's transformed. So that way you can move around the map quicker. You might be more into that transforming type. You can fly around, land when you need to get into the action. And what I like about this suit is how many weapons it has. It has a beam assault rifle along with the beam saber, but it also has Vulcan's grenade launcher, waist-mounted beam gun, 3-tube missile launcher, and that shield. So yeah, this is a good one to choose from if you do like the idea of having a whole bunch of different weapons that you can use. You know, and some other neat things, especially when you get up into higher costs, between like the Moon Gundam and the new Gundam, you get some interesting things like the psycho plates. So depending if it's fin funnels, psycho plates, bits, etc., it's an idea where you can target onto an enemy, launch those weapons, they do their own attacks, and come back. Sometimes they can have multiple purposes, like the psycho plates can also create a defense shield, just like with the new Gundam and the fin funnels created the defense shield. That is something else you can also consider when choosing your mobile suit. Anyway, yeah, so between the different classes and the different play styles, ranged, melee, maybe more in your face, maybe more in the back doing the firepower, or just kind of the all around, there's a lot you can choose from. And I say go with something that you like design-wise and just play around with it and see if it works for you or not. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. We'll talk later.